Hey ladies and gentlemen, this is Javier with the real Javier Novoa, just with a little bit of a late night segue here. We weren't able to have our full Sunday service this morning because I was caught up in a business meeting, but I didn't want to leave this without giving you some wisdom to take with you throughout the week from scriptural references. So, what I wanted to do was take a commentary from one of the Psalms. The Psalm of the 23rd Psalm, the very famous Psalm, and which is one, by the way, which is respected not only by Christianity but by Judaism and Islam. In fact, one of the great Islamic scholars, Safar al-Hawali, did say that this Psalm was the most Unitarian Psalm, and we can discuss that later. But this is something that is respected, and it's something that has the full chain of the perennial philosophy and theology running through it. And it has very deep mystical meanings, and it will just be driven home for you. So I want to read it, and then I want to go into the commentary on it that's inspired by Neville Goddard. It's inspired by the Metaphysical Bible Dictionary, and it goes into the really deep and spiritual metaphysical meanings of this psalm and how you can take it and apply it to your daily life immediately. So let's begin in earnest here. As we know, it says, "The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want," which means, when want here means, I have no lack of anything. That's the first step, actually, to manifestation, is putting yourself in the state of prosperity, putting yourself in the state of lacking nothing. "He maketh me to lie down in green pastures." It's what the sheep likes. "He leadeth me beside still waters." So you get the stillness here, and you also get the sense of flow here. "He restoreth my soul." Of course, restoration and rest and the replenishing mode is a huge part of our modality. It's a huge part of manifesting as well. "He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake." And of course, as Jesus is reported to have said, "Seek first the kingdom of heaven and its righteousness, and all else will be added unto you." And righteousness here means alignment with your source and with your inner being. It's not some kind of puritanical ethical code. It is simply a state of being in alignment. "Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. For thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies." Enemies here could be both exterior or interior. "Thou anointest my head with oil. My cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever." So what's the commentary here? So the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. What Neville says is that the awareness is my Lord and shepherd. That which I am aware of being is the sheep that follow me. So we have this division between awareness and that I am aware of. Of course, if you go into our chart on the levels of being, our scale of being, on the top is divinity, and therefore there is nothing to be aware of because it's pure consciousness. It's pure awareness. But when we go down to the level of personality, and there is set up an observer and an observed, which is already a false construct, then there becomes something aware and something to be aware of. So that which I am aware of is the sheep that follows me. That's my manifestation. So good a shepherd is my awareness of being. It has never lost one sheep or thing that I am aware of being. So anything that you're aware of being, it can never be lost. It is. So when you attain that state, no matter what your outer circumstances or appearances say, it is. My consciousness is a voice calling in the wilderness of human confusion, calling all that I am conscious of being to follow me. So well do my sheep know my voice, that they never fail to respond to my call. Nor will there come a time when that which I am convinced that I am will fail to find me. So you're convinced of it, you're in state, it is yours, and that cannot fail. I am an open door for all that I am to enter. My awareness of being is Lord and Shepherd of my life. Now I know I shall never be in need of proof or lack the evidence of that which I am aware of being. Knowing this, I shall become aware of being great, loving, wealthy, healthy, and all the other attributes that I admire. So knowing that I can lose nothing, I can now just move to everything that I want in my consciousness. That means that you can never lose a sheep. Therefore, what you are aware of, rest assured that that is yours, and it shall come to you in the manifested realm. Therefore, focus on it, ladies and gentlemen. Do not be afraid to focus on whatever it is you desire. It is yours the moment you desire it. All you need to do is open your consciousness to become vastly more aware of that. So the second verse, of course, he maketh me to lie down in green pastures. And Neville Goddard here goes on. My awareness of being magnifies all that I am aware of being. So there's ever an abundance of that which I am conscious of being. It makes no difference what it is that man is conscious of being. He will find it eternally springing in his world. The Lord's measure, man's concept of himself, is always pressed down, shaken together, and running over. So everything that's happening in your experience is according to your concept of yourself. Change the concept, or as we go into in this course, change the film roll, and you'll be on another film roll, and you will live that film roll to the last drop. Until you get off that film roll, get on another film roll. So if you're conscious of poverty, you're going to live out that poverty. If you're conscious of wealth and abundance, you are going to live out that abundance, no matter if you're locked in a cell or if you're sentenced to poverty by the princes of men, you will live out that abundance. He leadeth me beside the still waters. And Neville interprets this: there's no need to fight for that which I am conscious of being. That's why in our course we don't teach effort. For all that I am conscious of being shall be led to me as effortlessly as a shepherd leads his flocks to the still waters of a quiet spring. So there's no need to struggle, ladies and gentlemen. In fact, struggle, as we talked about in our other videos, just keeps you on that film roll. It's the energy that's wasted in struggle that depletes you of enough energy to be able to get on another film roll. So he restoreth my soul, he leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. So, and this is very important that Neville goes into this. Now that my memory is restored, so that I know I am the Lord, and beside me there is no God. My kingdom is restored. And we're going to go in the deeper and longer Sunday services, which I promise you are going to begin this next Sunday at 9 a.m. Central. I had something today, but next week I have made the commitment to do this. We're going to talk about your divinity and the scriptural proofs and references for this, and what has been given to the Son has been given to you. But your memory is restored because, ladies and gentlemen, as we know, we were memory wiped when we came into this quote-unquote grid, when we were born into this grid. And we have to now rediscover what is our birthright that's been sort of taken away from us by that memory wiping. And that's why Neville goes into this and says, now that your memory is restored. I'm here, ladies and gentlemen, simply to restore your memory, to help you to remember who you are, what's been taken away from you by the powers that be. My kingdom, which became dismembered the day that I believed in powers apart from myself, is now fully restored. And that goes into the concept that we teach you to meditate upon in this channel, one power. Now that I know my awareness of being as God, I shall make the right use of this knowledge by becoming aware of being that which I desire to be. So, ladies and gentlemen, you start stepping into what that is that you desire to be. You start realizing that your desire is prophecy, and that your desire is, and your desire is more real than the seemingly real circumstances that are surrounding you. It is more real than the grid. And you start assenting to that reality, ladies and gentlemen. And you stop allowing circumstances to dictate your reality to you. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me, thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. And as Neville goes on, he says, yes, yea, though I walk through all the confusion and changing opinions of men, saying, you cannot do this, who are you? You can't be this. You're stuck in the condition that you were in. Are you not the carpenter's son? Remember, they told this to somebody. Was this guy not just working on my cabinet, and now he is saying who he is? No. These are the opinions of men that mean nothing, ladies and gentlemen, once you get this. So, though I go through all that, I will fear no evil, for I have found consciousness to be that which makes the confusion. So I'm no longer going to be conscious of it. Having in my own case restored it to its rightful place and dignity, I shall, in spite of the confusion, outpicture that which I am now conscious of being, and the very confusion will echo and reflect my own dignity. Know this well. This sort of goes into the boomerang concept that we were discussing yesterday. So the confusion of outward conditions, say that you have attained the state of something. Let's say you want a business. But now you wake up and you realize that your outer conditions are still saying that you're bankrupt. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to get so good at this that those conditions of bankruptcy are going to say, wow, here's a condition that reminds me of the film role that I'm no longer on. And that will just increase your faith, and it'll remind you to give more intense focus to the film role that you want to be on. So you'll say, okay, here are the conditions of my being bankrupt, but oh, I forgot. I need to be focusing on this film role where I have my business and I am prosperous. And then you'll start to give your attention to that other film role, and you won't even remember the outer conditions of your quote-unquote bankruptcy, which is spelled out by the princes of men. The princes of men do not dominate your consciousness. Only you do. Only your focus counts, and only your desire is the truth. If it goes against your desire, ladies and gentlemen, that is a lie. You have to realize that. And you have to use all the other conditions to simply support your assumption. This is the mastery of this material. So, thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil, my cup runneth over. In the face of seeming opposition and conflict, here's the interpretation of this. I shall succeed, for I will continue to outpicture that abundance that I am now conscious of being. My head, which is my consciousness, will continue to overflow with the joy of being God. And remember, we did discuss the oil as being that life force, that consciousness, that energy of getting into state and realizing who you are. So every time you get on the new film roll, your head or your consciousness, or what we refer to as the skull, is anointed with oil. It's anointed with that life force that is the desire of everything that you want. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Because I am now conscious of being good, Neville goes on, and merciful to myself, good because I am now in righteousness, I'm standing in the state of my wish fulfilled, and I'm focused on that film role intensely, and I'm no longer judging the conditions that are around me. Rather, I am simply living in what I want to be. Signs of goodness and mercy are compelled to follow me all the days of my life, for I will continue to dwell in the house of consciousness of being God or good forever. So, there's no effort, ladies and gentlemen. Once you're conscious of being good, once you're conscious of being righteous, once you're conscious of being everything that you want to be, there's no more effort, there's no more work. There's simply a rest and a relaxation, and then all of those circumstances are able to come to you by your awareness simply being open enough to recognizing that all of them are there around you. So, ladies and gentlemen, I just wanted to go into that this Sunday, at a late hour this Sunday, and I want you to be able to take this with you throughout the week and be able to operate on this. For Scripture in the end is only as good as the messages that it conveys to us, and in that it allows us to practice it, in that it allows us union and a feeling of the presence of the divine, and in that it improves our experience. So until very soon, we're going to be making a lot of videos this week. We're going to be going more into the nitty-gritty of homesteading, of creating your lifestyle the way that you want it, because this is what the times call for, ladies and gentlemen, and also deeper into this modality of manifesting, which I believe is the most important tool for the times to come. So please subscribe and like to our channel if you appreciate our material. This is Javier with much love and appreciation. God bless you, and I will see you very soon.